back. New Start Discipleship Day 29. And we're in Genesis 37 and following. Abraham had Isaac. Isaac had Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons. And 12 sons came from him, and one of them's name is Joseph. The 12, you might have heard of the 12 tribes of Israel. You're going to see that as we read through more things. Those 12 tribes are named after the descendants of Jacob. So Jacob has 12 sons, and out of those sons, God chooses to make those 12 into his nation, and they are going to be the ones we're going to work with going forward here, all right? So a lot of those tribes, one of those guys is named Joseph, and there's a fabulous, fabulous story in Joseph, his story. So Genesis 37 opens that story up with Joseph as a young man. He's a dreamer. God gives him visions and dreams, and he tells these dreams, and his brothers kind of freak out because it sounds like he's trying to make himself the hero and more important, and who knows, maybe he was kind of spoiled brat. I don't know. Maybe he was kind of arrogant. I don't know. But he tells his brothers his dreams, and they get mad. They sell him into slavery, and the rest of this story is like God showing how he guides and directs and sovereignly works in the hard circumstances of someone's life in order to bring good and glory to his name, to bring glory to his name and good to his people. So Joseph is sent away down to Egypt. He has all kinds of hardships there, winds up in prison. It's a bad business. He's unfairly accused of things. He's forgotten and left to rot. It's a bad, bad thing. Maybe you've got some stuff in your life that's kind of like that. Maybe there's some people who have done you wrong. There's some people who have done things to you, and you've not been repaid with good. You've been repaid with evil for your good. And if that's the case, I just want to encourage you that you're not the first one. And you can look at Joseph's story, see his gracious and forgiving attitude, and ultimately what it comes down to is this, that God takes what happened to Joseph and turns it around and uses it for God's glory and the good of God's people. So in Joseph's forgiveness of his brothers, we wind up seeing an incredible story of an incredible example of God's forgiveness of us, right? When we had done wrong and God didn't deserve our forsaking of him and our disobedience, yet God was still kind to us and he still forgave us. And I hope that you'll be inspired to see it in your own life. And in one specific reference that I want you to notice is this, that when Joseph was describing later to his brothers, they came back to him after they had been separated from him for so long. They came back, and Joseph says something very, very important to them. He says, I want you to know something. He said, I want you to know that you meant it. What happened, what you did to me, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. I don't know what's going on in your life today or what has happened to you in the past and how you've been wounded and how you've been hurt. I don't know. I just know this, that they meant it to you for evil. And you may be confused and wonder why God allowed this to happen. I can promise you this, that in some way, God meant it to you for good. I don't know where that good will come, but if your attitude remains a continued seeking after God, a continued desire to be gracious and forgiving, and a continued desire to grow through those things and trust God's favor to be with you, then I can promise you this, that your life will echo for decades to come, and the lives of those you touch, your children, grandchildren, and others around you, they will echo with good because of what is happening to you right now, if your response to it is the proper one. You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. So that's the message I want you to grab and walk away from with Joseph's story, the sovereign hand of God guiding through trials and difficulties and bringing good out of them. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow for day 30.